Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. Vaulting is an excellent way to prepare a horse for hippotherapy. Over 4 years ago, we trained our horses to be vault horses. Here are some excerpts.
Now, as a vaulting horse, she's going to have to allow individuals on her back doing gymnastics, athletics, and we have, for that purpose, a vaulting surcingle on her, a nylon vaulting surcingle, which we've introduced in the past. We've done very briefly some vaulting work with Eve months ago in the square pen. Now we're working out here, because it is midsummer, in the uncovered arena. You need to have a really even dispositioned horse for lunging when there is a vaulter on their back. So that is the reason I've chosen Eve for this kind of activity. Now I'm going to show you the 6 compulsories of vaulting. I learned them many, many years ago when my children were very little, and they did vaulting. They did vaulting with a team, and they practiced vaulting on my stallion, Shadrack Triton Gimcrack. And I'm just going to show you here at a stand what the 6 compulsories are. And you see this kind of activity on the back of a horse. It's like a bareback feeling to her. I didn't vault on there real agilely, but you know I trust Eve, and it's important to trust your vault horse. The first is the riding seat. The riding seat means that we are going to be pointing our toes, bringing our arms up, shoulder level, pointing our fingers, and we're going to be able to ride Eve this way at the 3 gaits: walk, jog, and canter. The scissors. The scissors is probably one of the more advanced compulsories. Let's wait with that one. What's the next one after that?
Can't really read it. Flag?
The flag. That's right.
Okay.
And we have shown this. It's really an athletic feat. Now, I think Eve is going to be okay on me doing, at least showing a flag. Now, watch her head. You see, she's saying, what's happening up there? These are unusual feelings. My left leg is draped across her back. My right leg is going up with a pointed toe. And if I were able to do it, which I cannot do it anymore as an adult, at least at my age, at the same time that this leg went up with a pointed toe, this arm is going to leave the handle of the vaulting surcingle and go up like this, so that you have your opposite arm up, shoulder level, pointed with your fingers, and your opposite leg up, hip level, pointed with your toes. Okay, that is the flag. And next?
Mill?
The mill. The mill is this. We've got my hands on the handles, and I'm going to bring the right foot over the vaulting surcingle, kind of scooch over so I'm properly placed on her back so I don't slip off. Now I'm going to mill around in the same manner, and I'm not even sure I can do this, but I'm showing Alexis, and at the same time showing you, I am now milled around facing. Okay, and she's being good, so I think I'm okay. Now I'm milling around, facing the other side, grabbing onto the handles, scooching over, and then I'm going to mill around and return to the original position. Now, when you do the mill, it's very, very beautiful. It's almost a ballerina type of movement. You keep your toes pointed, your legs straight. Everything is smoothly done, but most definitely done on purpose. A leg goes out, it mills around in a ballerina-like movement. Okay, next.
Stand.
The stand. Okay. I have done this before. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, this is a weird feeling to Eve. I did this in the square pen. See, we don't rehearse here at Minmore. We just show you what we're trying to do. do keep your legs slightly bent like I just did, and you hold for 4 seconds with your arms very on purpose pointed out and your fingers pointed out from shoulder. And next?
Flank?
The flank off. Flank off. Oh, and the scissors. Before I flank off.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming down?
Yeah, flank off means coming off in a certain manner. The scissors, I used to be able to do them when I was much, much younger. The scissors are beautiful but difficult, and I'm probably only going to be able to describe it. We lean forward. I will be able to show it, though. I have some footage. If you can't do it, I have some footage of my kids doing it when they were very, very young. We lean forward and pick up our body and throw our legs behind us, crisscross them, and sit backwards on the horse at the same time that you have to switch your hands. Once you have scissored halfway through and you're now facing backwards, you reverse your crisscross and turn around and end up with a kind of a spring here on her back, sitting forward again. Mm-hmm. Now the flank off. What we do to flank off, and I'm not going to be able to flank, but I am going to be able to show you. I'm not going to be able to do the off, is we do the first part of the mill, and then when we get off, rather than just slipping down, what we do is we push against the handles and push our bodies up into the air, straight, almost like an ironing board, and then push off the horse and land on your 2 feet. So we've switched roles because Alexis would like to just begin to feel what it's like to be up there doing all these compulsories. So we're going to try to do it in the same order. I'm going to try my hardest to describe it, especially those things that I couldn't show. The riding seat is pretty easy. Point your toes, out go your hands, shoulder level, not too far up, not too far down, and with vigor you're going to point your fingers. And you're going to look like a ballerina on horseback. Good. The riding seat. Walk, trot, and canter. That'll be one of the first things we try to master. Now, the flag. See if you can, holding onto the handles, get one knee on her back with your foot crossed over her back. The other leg, see if you can bring it up. I did successfully do that, if you recall.
So.
One knee, and then, that's right. Now bring that, let's say bring your right leg up. Yeah, as far as you can, point your toe. Can you now, at the same time, yes, and point your hand? That's it. That's a flag. Yes, that's beautiful. And you're going to do that at all 3 gates. Yes, you can. It really is amazing what you can do on horseback gymnastics-wise. Okay, now the mill. Now be careful as you go to the sides that you don't fall off. If you don't scooch over, it can go either side. But wait, try that again. See if you can do this. That's right, point your toe, keep your leg straight. Yes, good. Scooch over. Okay, can you bring your leg higher up? Go back to that position. Now, the higher up, the prettier it is. Bring your leg high up, like a ballerina. That's right. That's right. Now you're okay. It's a little scary back there, when you're backwards on the horse. Okay, and one more. Bring it high up. That's it. Okay, that's the mill. And then there's the stand. Do it as much as you are comfortable doing it. You saw that Eve was good with me. Maybe your legs should be somewhat bent. You probably can straighten your torso a little more than I did. And then don't let go until you need to. Don't feel the least bit weak. You grab onto the handles after you've let go. There's a lot of times where you're going to do that. Yes. And then put your hands out. Yes. And your legs slightly bent, not completely straight. Because you know what? When she starts jogging and cantering, you have to go with her. Yeah, you're going to stay at the gate. Very nice, yes. And by the way, the vaulters, no matter how little or how big, always pet their vaulting horse when they're done with their exercises. That is to tell them that they've given the right answer. Okay, and now the scissors. Now, I don't even think I described them correctly, but let me see if I can begin to describe it again. You're going to hold on to that those handles. Push your torso back. You're going to kind of swing back, and then as you do it, this is a timing thing, so you're going to flip your legs like scissors, so they'll look for a second like a scissors.
Okay,
and then flip your...
Then you're crossing them back there.
Yes, crossing them back there, and what the thing is, you're turning around and holding on backwards. I'm going to get a picture of that before we try it. Yes, it is momentum. Yeah, by timing. Yes, it is.
Your legs forward?
Yes, absolutely. It was really one of the hardest exercises to learn for the youngsters and for the adults that were trying to learn this way back then when it first got started in my community. Good, yes. Yes. And now you reverse it. You're going to push back, and you're going to flip your legs again and come back around. See if that sounds logical. It's just like reversing, just like when we unharnessed Sammy the other. That's it. Yes, at the same time you have to push. That's it. I wish my cameraman could have gotten her facial expression. We have a lot of fun here at Midmore Farms. Yeah, okay. You're doing very well, Alexis. All right, so that was the scissors and then the flank off. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to do a flank off. Yeah, okay.
I don't understand how I get horizontal.
Okay, all right, go to the first step, which you can do by bringing your left leg over, scooching over. Okay, now you're going to hold on to the handles. These are very critical, having a vaulting surge single arm. You're going to swing your body up, and then your hands are going to push you off. It's all a timing thing. So swing it up and turn supine. You're going to swing your body up, turn supine, and then push off and land by bending your torso so that your feet land on the ground. After the compulsories, what happens in vaulting? You become real artistic. You can do a lot of gymnastics on horseback to music, with other people on the horseback, with handstands, with shoulder stands, with using these Cossack straps where you put one foot in and with the strength of and the athleticism of your body do some very beautiful movements while the horse is transitioning to the various gaits.
Here is more information about the flank off compulsory.
The first time that we got together with Eve, we had one thing wrong about how we said a flank off should be done. So I've since checked on it, and Alexis and I practiced a little bit. She's got a whole lot more to practice with, but she at least knows the movements. Okay, Alexis. Now, your lunger is standing on your left side. So that's where the first movement is going to be with your legs.
This is
right. Last time we did it on the right side, but it just depends upon where your lunger is standing. You want two levels to this flank off movement. Okay, let's do the first one.
So
that's it. Now she's got both legs on the side of the lunger. And eventually, with a little bit more muscle development, a little bit more momentum and timing, she'll be able to get those two legs over Eve's hips without fumbling on her hips, right? But Eve is so good, she doesn't care. Okay, now that's step number one. Then think about it. We're going to be moving eventually at the walk or the jog or even the canter. So when you feel like you're solid on her back, without falling off, and you may have to scooch back a little bit as you do in the mill. Then the second step is to, with timing, with strength, you're going to vault off Eve's right side. And let's see if we can show that, at least the movement. Nope. That's it. No, you got the idea.
I kicked her.
Yes, and you can see how good Eve was at that. She's going to make a great vault horse because it doesn't matter how we fumble on her. She says, okay. So that is the flank off. And that was the sixth compulsory. We didn't quite have the form straight last time. Now we know at least how we're going to try to do it in the near future. Now, it's timely that Jill is here, because one of the problems that we're going to have with Eve at first, so we know this, is that at a lunch, she will change gait at our request, but she does everything too fast. We want her to be able to collect herself at a jog and collect herself at a canter. And Jill is here today to show us how to use the pulley system for lunging, which will give us the ability, with repetition, with practice with Eve over and over and over again, to let her understand that when she transitions to a jog from a walk and to a lope from a jog, she's to power from her haunches and not pick up speed, just change the gait. And that's what we're going to show you a little bit more today. Well, Jill, who used to do gymnastics, asked us if she could try the flank off on Eve. So she's going to get up there. She's got the vaulting surcingle on. Okay, now, you stand on the same side, Alexis, as Jill was. Okay, now what you're going to do is, using the handles of the vaulting surcingle, you're going to push away. You push away your body with strength, and with timing, you're going to, at the same time, bring your two legs over to Eve's left side of the body. and Alexis, having just done it, there you go. Good, very nice. Yes,
really, like, push.
yes, and you realized you had to scooch, right? Otherwise, you were going to slip off. When you watch the beginning of this video, you'll see that the mill it's a doable gymnastic feat on horseback, but you need to keep in mind the scooch, and you'll know what I mean when you watch what we did at our first session. Now, the next part of the flank is pushing off, keeping your legs together and your toes pointed as much as you can. Push off and land on your feet on Eve's right side of the body. You need to get over her hips, though, with your legs, which means you're going to want to...
Yeah.
Yes, all the way over to the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Good, beautiful, Joe. You did that with grace. That was very nice. I hope you can join us in our vaulting sessions with Eve. Okay, now we're going to turn off the camera for a moment, and we're going to put the pulley system lunging device on Eve, and Jill knows how to do it. We've already shown you a show where Demi did it just a few weeks ago. Demi is Jill's Morgan horse, and Demi did very well with this lunging system and has learned a lot about collection at the lunge using this pulley system. There we go. We're putting on the pulley system, and we're going to show you every single step in the tacking up process and explain to you the beauty of this pulley system as we use it. This is Firecrest Easter Eve, and Jill, who is going to be our trainer today, our teacher on how to use the Pessoa pulley system for lunging.
And I guess we want to add that this is Eve's first time, so we're going to go slowly and be cautious and pay attention to what she's telling us if she gets nervous. But she's used to having ropes on her and different gadgets rigged up on her, so she should be okay.
That's what we're hoping, and that's what we're thinking, because Eve has had britchin on. She's trained to cart drive. She's had ropes all over her body, both in the obstacle area and when we practice roping, because Eve makes a good rope horse. There you go. Now that's just a snaffle O-ring bridle and with some donuts.
Putting it on over her halter, and I took off the noseband off the bridle. This is just the way that I was taught to do it, so this is how I continue to do it.
Just adjusting the bridle so that it fits Eve. This has been the first time that it's on her. Adjusting the rope halter so that it's crossing her nose at the right place. Good girl. Now Alexis is learning how to do this, because we're going to have to do a lot of repetition with Eve to get that collection at the lunge. And we just have, it looks like a saddle blanket. And a surcingle. These are all standard items that you can use for other purposes. It's the pulley system that you'll see shortly, which is the unusual piece of equipment. That's the feature of this session today. Oops. All right, hang on. Okay, now notice how Jill is putting the surcingle straps through the keeper on the saddle blanket. Then she's going to cinch up, not as tight as a saddle, but snug enough so that this surcingle isn't going to slip on her Eve's back.
So what are the key things to make sure there's nothing around that the horse is going to spook at when you put the pulley system on? And I notice that we have the tractor in the background going right now, so I want to check with you, Sonia. She seems like she's okay with that.
She is. We do it a lot around her. I think she's been desensitized. Now, if you were to come right behind me, we'd probably want to stop. This is Sadie, my 5-year-old filly who's daughter to Firecrest Easter Eve. About a year and a half ago, we did a couple of vaulting on Eve programs, and a couple of weeks ago we started a series of vaulting programs of vaulting on Sadie. She is similarly disposed as Eve. We think she'll make a good vault horse. She's built similarly to Eve. She has good physical conformation so that we can, once we start vaulting on her, we can get a good seat, stand on her, and so forth. Last show we introduced her to lunging and the Pessoa. See, the back strap on Sadie's legs doesn't seem to be causing her a problem. She's keeping her head down. We're not going to actually vault on her today, but we're going to run along with her and make sure that that doesn't spook her.
Look out for that mounting block. She's definitely doing better. She's keeping her trot more even, starting to carry her head a little better. There, that's nice.
Let me run in and see if she'll let me skip along with her. That could be interpreted as something spooky. We'll see what Sadie says. Okay, when she comes around here, I'm going to see if she'll let me walk in.
And trot. And trot.
The purpose of today's brief video clip is to show you or explain to you what the compulsories are. There's first the riding seat, which looks like this, and we're going to be doing it, ultimately we hope, at all 3 gates in a lunge circle. Then there is the mill. That is, we mill around. Now, I'm not even sure she's going to tolerate this. This is weird to her. But we've got Rosie here. We're doing it at a stand. We're showing you what the feet, the gymnastic feet is. Notice when I come to the side, I kind of have to scooch back. Otherwise, especially at the forward motion gates, you very easily can slip off and back over the vaulting surcingle. And then there is the flag.
In this flag, my right leg should go up over the hips of the horse, and my left arm should go up over the neck of the horse.
My right foot's going to come out at the same time that my right foot is up, as you saw it. My left hand would come up in the same plane. And then I've shown this on Eve. Will Sadie, Eve's daughter, tolerate even the beginning of this? I'm not going to try it. Can I stand on her back without a saddle? Can she feel my feet and let me stand? with my knees bent, with my arms out. That's something that we're going to aim for. We're going to aim to show it to you, but I cannot show it to you today. And then there's the very difficult scissors. Now, I found an old clip from video from decades ago when my kids were young, them doing at least the first half of the scissors on my stallion, who has since died. But even at that time, when they were team vaulters, they found it difficult to do the scissors. The first half of the scissors gets you this way. The second half of the scissors, done like this, the right leg over the left leg at the same time you push up and you turn back around, not with a milling movement, but with a scissors movement.
You see that? Girl.
You end up back like this. And then finally, it's the flank off. And the flank off, I've shown you this in the past with Eve a couple years ago. The flank off is usually the way you end your compulsories because it results with you being off the horse. You go around like this, kind of a quarter of the mill. Then you pick yourself up off the handles. Pick your whole bottom torso from your hips down with a vaulting push off, and your legs end up on the opposite side of the horse, standing up. Gymnastics on horseback is a very regimental type of athleticism, and it is a very artful type of athleticism as well. Once the gymnast masters these compulsories, they go on to doing routines to music, and they do all kinds of things using these Cossack straps here. I'm showing you the one on the right, doing arabesques. They do all kinds of things by getting on the other side of this vaulting surcingle and riding here on the horse. So what does this mean for the horse? That means the horse has to tolerate all these weird feelings. All right, well, I've shown you just very briefly the drill. And then in our last session, we tried to get close to Sadie so we could see if she'd tolerate somebody grabbing these vaulting surcingle handles and trot or skip along with her at her gait. And we got her to at least accept the fact that I was getting close. And before we turned on the camera, we did some lunging without the Pasella on. And was she okay on that, Rosie? Okay.
Part 2 will show excerpts of other preparation training for equine and bovine assisted therapy, which has occurred at Shadrack Farms since 2008. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.